Hollie Taylor. It's good company, and I actually have someone hanging out with me in studio, which is an honor, and her name is Heather Rosen. Now, she's not a new artist, but new to the Christian airwaves, so welcome to Joy Radio, and it's been so cool getting the responses from our listeners about your, I'm going to call it debut to Christian radio single, Better Rain. So thank you for being here today.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Of course. Anytime anyone's in the neighborhood, we're like, come visit us.
I love your neighborhood.
Yeah, it's nice.
The cutest.
It's adorable. There's the lake nearby. Like, more people should come and visit us. So spread the word.
Well, walking around, it feels like a Hallmark movie. So I recommend Oakville to everyone.
Yes.
Downtown.
Okay, Hallmark. Do you enjoy watching Hallmark Christmas movies?
I do watch them, but I'm not one of those like hardcore Hallmark movies. I'm more like Home Alone and maybe like The Grinch.
Yes.
I really feel like that they're Christians in The Grinch. They take all the gifts away. They're like, but it's still Christmas. And they're kind of saying it without saying it.
Mm-hmm. That's how we have to do sometimes. Mm-hmm. Say it without saying it. I love that. We actually watch The Grinch when we decorate the Christmas tree. That's one of our Christmas traditions now that we've got kids in our family. And I know that you have a little one, and she's what, about 2?
Yeah, she's 2.5, and we have actually watched 2 versions of The Grinch already.
Nice. And she's not afraid?
She doesn't watch the Jim Carrey one.
Okay.
So she watches like the classic cartoon one, and she has a flat book of it, so she loves that. And then we watched the new one that they did with like Pixar, I think. Have you seen that one?
I have. It's good.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I force my kids to watch the Jim Carrey one.
Yeah, no, when she's older, but I feel like that one will scare her a little bit.
Yeah, he's a little intense.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
How has having a daughter changed your perspective of the Christmas story?
Oh wow! Well, I actually wrote a Christmas song called "In Bethlehem," and it's going to be available online soon. And I was writing it and I was reflecting on how Mary must have felt that night. And it's something I never dove into fully before becoming a mom. And it was just overwhelming. It was something that is unimaginable. And how would I feel if an angel came to me and told me I couldn't even put myself in her shoes. And so being a mom is just one of the most amazing things in the world. I think it's the highest calling to raise another human. Like, God trusts me with this precious, innocent soul. That is such a high calling. And I'm so grateful to teach her what Christmas is about. Grateful to teach her, Advent and prayer and Christmas songs. And it's just the best.
Obviously, being a Christian is a big part of you and your music. So tell me a little bit about how Jesus became your Savior.
Well, I'm a late bloomer. I did grow up going to church with my family, but it was habitual. I didn't have the revelation of Jesus on the cross. I did not understand what a relationship with Jesus was. And so at 16, I decided I'm not going to do this anymore. And I set out to find God for myself. And in that journey, I went into New Age. I looked for God in drug experiences. I lived a life that was not Christian, partied a lot, drank a lot. I found myself very, very low and broken after about 15 years of that. And in my most broken, most low, I actually ended up meeting a man who's now my pastor, my spiritual father. And he was such a special manner of a man that when I met him, I thought, if Jesus is real, I think I just met him in this man. And it was convicting. And I was so curious about it that I agreed to go check out his church. And when I went into his church, Jesus cemented the deal, because it not only felt like home walking into this church, which was something I had never felt in a church, but I saw the power of God exemplified there. I saw miracles, I saw deliverance, and I saw what I had been searching for my whole life. And it was in that broken state, in that church, that I said, okay, God, I heard that you can heal. I heard that you can redeem. I heard you can restore. So I am broken as all can be. Show me.
Amazing. So how did that interaction with this, like a pastor and a spiritual leader, and now having Jesus in your life shift how you approach music?
Wow. So I stopped singing for a while after pursuing what you mentioned earlier. I was an artist before in secular country music, and I stopped singing because I hit a wall, felt like I was banging my head against a brick wall, and nothing was opening for me. And I had spent over a decade giving everything I had to this that wasn't giving back. And when I went back to church, or not back to church, but to church, I went back to music in a sense because I got called into worship leading almost immediately upon joining this church, which was completely out of left field for me. God qualifies the called. He doesn't call the qualified. And I am the perfect example of that. And he began raising me in worship. And then one day he started dropping songs in me again, where I looked at God and I was like, this feels like an artist song. This feels like, what I used to put out, except with a different perspective. And it was still me as an artist, but with a Christian heart. And I knew very quickly that God had given me albums, plural, in me to put out into the world from this new perspective of being a bit older, but a baby Christian, and to give people like me something to bridge the gap in their walk, because I felt like coming to Christ was a lot like coming of age. There was a lot of emotions associated with it. It's so joyful and hopeful, but you're also grieving a bit of your old life, and it's also very scary to leave everything that you used to do. And so I've written about those inner dialogues and prayer life and experiences in the music that I'm putting out.
Well, let's talk about the music you're putting out. Yeah. Better Rain is a single that Christian radio stations are playing across Canada, and we're playing it here at Joy Radio. We've had several listeners reach out, and they just need to know the name of the song and who's the artist, because the words are really speaking to their hearts. Share a little bit about what Better Rain means to you and the message that you're hoping people are receiving from it.
Okay, that makes me want to cry. I won't cry on your show.
You can. We love the tears.
But it's
healing.
I'm so happy to hear that. And Better Rain, I did write as a slightly less personal take on coming to Christ and walking into a church for the very first time. So it has me in it, but I also wanted it to be general enough that if someone's exact experience wasn't mine, that they would relate to Better Rain. And basically it came to me when I was in a car with my husband, and we were playing amazing songwriter songs that make you appreciate songwriters. He said, "Do you know this song called A Better Rain by George Strait?" And I said, "No, but is it a Christian song?" And he was like, "No, not really." And I'm like, "But baby, how is a song called Better Rain and not a Christian song?" And I was like, I can hear it all right now. I was like, rain before you come to Christ is like the tears that you're crying. It's strife, the sweat on your brow from your own strength. And after coming to Christ, it's cleansing, it's baptism, it's joyful tears. So I had it all downloaded to me in that moment in the car. And my husband and I wrote it together, and then we released it September 14th.
It's an incredible song. I'm glad that you're able to have your husband there to support you. You are a dynamic duo. What roles do you guys take when it comes to the music creation side of things?
Yeah, we're very much partners. And it's funny because when we met, I was like, we're not ever going to work together.
Yeah. That's fair. It can be very dangerous. Yeah. Like, my husband is a trainer. I can't work out with him.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen.
That's what I thought, but God had other plans. So, yeah, he's an incredible writer in his own right and an incredible producer. And I very much fail to be a producer. So he is my best teammate and sounding board, and he pushes me to be better constantly. I'll bring him something. What do you think of this? And he's like, you can do better than that. And then we get it to the level it should be at. And he hears things like it's almost like one of those people that sees music like colors. You know, he can hear every intricate part of a song. He's really amazing like that. So we we balance each other really well because he's not a singer like me. And together we make this perfect little team.
Oh, I love that. And now you've got your little third edition to inspire different kinds of music. And so thank you so much for taking time to swing by.
Thank you so much for having me.